Hi, welcome to Peas Stronkies. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beaded brow band for your horse, and this is a fox bead pattern. Thanks. Turn it off. So the first thing you want to do is thread up your loom. I'm just using a home loom here, but you can use any sort of loom that you like. I'm also using the braided fishing line, not the nylon fishing line, and I'm using size 8 beads. So I'm using purple, topaz, black and white for the beads for this fox. So I've just put this on fast speed so that we can go through the process a bit quicker, so you don't have to watch a 2-hour video. So I've just sticky taped the ends down there just to keep the tension on them. And so just thread the needle and tie the ends of the line onto the first string or the bottom string, and then thread up the beads. The first row is always a little bit tricky, but once you've got that first row done in between all the beads, it's much easier. Here's a close-up, it's a bit easier to see. So you make sure that when you put the beads on the bottom, when you come back over with the needle, you go over the top. Okay, so the beads go underneath all the threads, and then you come back over the top and put the needle over the top. Keep going with your beads. And you can see the pattern starting to form. Okay, there's another close-up just so you can see a bit slower, a bit closer. So see the needle going over the top of the strands as you come back down. Okay, so on the bottom, so the beads go underneath. Help separate those beads out in between the strands, and then the needle is going to come over the top and down through all the beads. Sorry, my finger's in the way there. Then once you've got to the end of that piece of line, you're just going to go backwards and forwards through the beads to tie off the ends, so that there's no chance of that thread coming out later on. So you just go through a couple of beads. It's really important that you're careful here not to go under the loom strands, because right at the end, I'll show you when I've tried to put the finish off the ends. If this process here gets caught in and out of those strands, that can really affect how you finish off. But this is, and I'd recommend now that you do all this finishing off after you've taken it off the loom, because I've been caught a few times with this. But this is how you do it at the end. Just go up and down and then snip off the ends. So once you're finished, you just take your beadwork off the loom. I'm just taking the screw out here so I can take all the strands off. And then the same on the other side. Just take those strands off the other end. Just take them over the screw, or however you take yours off your loom. And that's the end product off the loom. Now I'm just going to take down the beads here on either end, just to secure that work on the bench so that it can't move. And there's two different ways that you can actually finish off this brow band, or if you're making a bracelet, you can same thing, bracelet or brow band. So take them down. The first way to finish this is to find the ends of your loops, and you can pull them through. Just gently pull them through. As you can see here, I'm just finding out which loops are connected to which loops, and just pulling those through. And you can see, if you look carefully on the right hand side, you can see that loop is coming through. I'm pulling it from the left hand through, and that loop is tightening up around the work. And then you just keep going with as many of those as you can. Just keep pulling each piece of line until your loops come through. Now sometimes you'll get stuck here. When I was saying before, if you keep finishing off your loose ends as you go, sometimes they can get caught around these loops here, which will stop them being able to be pulled through, which is a bit of a pain in the neck. Now if that happens and you keep pulling as far as you can until you can't get any more threads to go through, then what you're going to need to do is you're actually going to need to cut the ends and put the needle on and thread them backwards and forwards through the beadwork. So it looks like here I'm still able to get a few more loops to pull through. And you just keep going as much as you can. You can see there that's getting a bit stuck. But I managed to get that one through. And I think after this one was where I got stuck and I wasn't able to get any more loops through. So I had to cut the threads, put it through a needle, and just go up and down through the beads to secure each of those strands. So just go as many times as you can up and down so that those strands are secure. Cut off the ends, finish off all the other strands, and then that's your beadwork complete. So now I've got a piece of webbing here, and I've just done the folded them over and stitched each end so that I've got a loop there that can go over the bridle headpiece. And I'm just going to put the beadwork onto that piece of webbing. Try to make sure that it's fairly evenly spaced. And then I'm just using back stitch here, so go forwards and then back, forwards and back through the beadwork until that's secure. So all the way around the beadwork until it's totally secured onto that piece of webbing. And then there's your finished brow band. There's how it looks on a couple of different animals. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.